Hello there. If your car tyre's gone flat, there may be a leak from the core of its valve. So, in this video, I'll show you how to diagnose a leaky valve core, how to fix the leak by tightening the core, and if that doesn't work, how to replace the core. Welcome to Car Spy TV. Right. Let's start by recapping the basics. This long tubular section here is the valve stem. The tip on the end here that unscrews is the valve cap. And the valve core, the piece we're working on today, lives under the cap within the stem. Here's a close-up. To find out whether a valve core's leaking, first grab a squirty bottle, then fill it with water and add a generous squirt of washing up liquid. This creates a solution that's inclined to bubble up just like that. Next, spray the solution over the valve core so the core is completely covered. And that's what we're aiming for. The solution is completely covering the core. If air is escaping from the tyre through the valve core, that solution will now increasingly bubble up and erupt like a mini volcano. Let's have a look. And there's the eruption. More and more bubbles emerging, which confirms the core of the valve is leaking. There's a nice bubble. In this scenario, the first thing to try is simply tightening the core of the valve within the stem. There are various ways we could tighten a valve core, but we're using this 4-way valve tool that can be bought for £3 or £4, and specifically we need this end here, which has a groove cut into it. See the groove? Let's now pop the tool into the valve, like so, and now we'll turn it clockwise until it jumps down slightly. Like that. That means the top of the valve core is now sitting in the groove of the tool. And now to tighten the valve core, we simply turn the tool clockwise. But we don't need to go mad here. We don't want to wring its neck. We just want to make sure the core is nicely snug. Well, that feels about right. Next, of course, it's sensible to check whether tightening the valve core fixed the leak, so grab some more soapy water, spray the valve down and have a good look for eruptions. So, if the leak's been fixed, simply reinflate the tyre and pop it back on the car. If it hasn't, a likely solution is to remove the valve core completely and fit a new one. To remove the valve core, simply reinsert the tool and make sure it's sitting properly. And now we're going to turn it anti-clockwise, but bear in mind as we do this that we're going to lose a lot of air from the tyre because there'll be nothing to hold it in. Alright, so here we go. Out comes the air, increasingly fast. Not a lot we can do about that. Okay, the valve core is out and in my hand, and I'll just shove my thumb over the valve entrance there to keep the remaining air in situ, and to that end we'll also pop on the dust cap. Ready? Well, that's easier said than done. Hang on, we'll try again. There we go. Well, we've still got some air. That's a win. So there's the valve core, which as we can see in this case is rather small. In fact, I'll pop the tool there next to it so we can get a sense of scale. So the next stage of course is to buy a new valve core. You can get them on eBay in multi-packs for a very small amount of money. Just make sure you get one that's the right size. Some, for example, are significantly longer than this one. When fitting a new core, note that it has a big end down there and indeed a thinner end up here. Well, the big end needs to go in first, like that. All right. Also bear in mind that when we remove this dust cap, air is going to come rushing out the tyre, and we don't want that air to fire the core across the room. All right. So let's go for it. Okay, and then simply grab the tool and turn it clockwise. Oops, fallen out. Have another go. This is a lot easier when you haven't got a camera in the way. Anyway, there we go. We're getting there now. So just turn the tool clockwise. And as I said before, we don't want to wring the neck of the core. Just make it comfortably snug like so. Next, of course, check for leaks via the soapy water. If everything's fine, pump up the tyre, replace the valve cap, and then go to the pub, because after all that, you deserve it. Anyway, that's it, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Car Spy TV. That makes it easier to find my other content. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time, hopefully with fully inflated tyres. Bye bye.